Anthony Edwards once again proved to me tonight he's not a superstar. Even though the Timberwolves beat the Warriors without Steph Curry, everyone knew that, the Warriors team was kind of eh. And, since they won that game without Steph and Steph went out early in the second quarter, that looked really bad on Anthony Edwards. And how he ended the Lakers series where he couldn't hit a shot. And then game one, he couldn't hit a shot. And then tonight, he couldn't hit a shot. Why can't this man shoot? He led the league in threes in the regular season. Oh, guess what? The regular season in the NBA does not matter. The players don't play hard. They don't care. They don't try. So that's not an accomplishment. I'm not giving him that. What I've seen so far in this playoffs and last year when he collapsed against the Mavericks, he's reminding me not of Michael Jordan. Not of Michael Jordan. He reminds me of LeBron James, a young LeBron James, where they can do things great, but he couldn't shoot the three in the playoffs, and he was not clutch in the playoffs. And that's the same thing that Anthony Edwards is doing. And now Anthony Edwards is also being like LeBron in his older stages of his career, and he cries after every play. Every time he misses a layup. Hey, Anthony Edwards, it's the playoffs. They're not calling that regular season BS that they called before. So go in there and dunk the ball. Don't go up there with that soft crap. And the funny thing is, he played the Lakers that didn't have a big. And then J.J. Redick didn't even play a big. He still couldn't finish a layup. And now he's playing a team where they got Draymond usually at the 5. Or tonight it was they put Trace Anderson or sometimes even Jimmy Butler, Quentin Post. Like these are no-name, not Jimmy Butler. He's not no-name in Draymond. But the other bigs are no-name young guys. And you can't finish a layup on this team. You can't finish a layup on a team that doesn't have a big man. The Timberwolves really got lucky that they didn't see the Houston Rockets because I think they would have got exposed by a big man. And last year, they got exposed by Gafford and the other big for Dallas, Lively. Ant Edwards cannot finish. He cannot finish layups. And then now he can't shoot. He's showing you everything that he's not a superstar. He's not a star in the playoffs. He's an average player, a little bit above average. Honestly, this series, Julius Randle has been the best player. And let's be honest, last series, Julius Randle was the best player. So I'm confused. And then when he went up against his peer in Luka last year, he's more athletic than Luka. He's in better shape than Luka. He shoots a better 3 percentage on his career from Luka. He plays better defense than Luka, but he couldn't beat Luka. So that shows me every time when the lights are the brightest, this guy doesn't show up. They give him credit. Oh, he beat Joker. He beat them when the team was horrible. They didn't have no bench. That they don't have really nothing. They got a couple guys, but that's not really the best team. Oh, well, they told you he beat KD. The Suns were horrible last year. Are you kidding me? That's not an accomplishment either. Then, he beat Luka and LeBron. Come on now. Everybody could see that team didn't have no defense. And then J.J. Redick was out there just throwing away the series. He wasn't even trying to win. He didn't even play a big man. And he played LeBron and Luka and all them. He knows LeBron's over 40 and Luka's out of shape. And you're going to play these guys the whole second half? And you couldn't beat, you beat that, but that's not an accomplishment to me. Okay, yeah, now if you win this series, you beat the Warriors without Steph, and they're going to be crowning you, and you haven't played good at all this series. You haven't played good at all to me in this playoffs, and then last year against Dallas, you didn't play good. So that's 3 straight series. You're showing me you're not a superstar. All you do is run that mouth. All you do is talk. Oh, I'm from Atlanta. Nobody cares. We care about championships in the NBA. We care about winning. We don't care about seeing you outside in LA and telling the people bye. They should have told you shot 35% for that game. Go shut up. Go be more humble. You beat a 41-year-old man. LeBron James, I'm not the biggest LeBron James fan, but LeBron James at 23 would destroy you, Anthony Edwards. He would have destroyed you in that series. So don't act like, oh, you're beating the best of the best. Oh, what, you beat a 37-year-old Kevin Durant last year with a horrible team? You beat Joker with no bench and no team. His teammates, Jamal Murray's always injured. He's never played with an all-star. Like, come on. If we look at it realistically, Ant Edwards in Minnesota has a great team around him. They have great role players. They have bigs. They have physicality. They have defense. They have shot makers. They got a veteran like Mike Conley to calm everything down and play point guard so he can go off ball. And he still shows he can't make a layup. He cries after every play. And in the playoffs, he can't shoot a three. He can't make a three. I don't care what we saw in the regular season. This is the playoffs. Guys actually play for real. And it's really showing you in a lot of these playoff series, you see when the playoffs start, you get to see who the real players are, who the real stars and superstars are, and who's just average. Anthony Edwards has shown right now, he's just average. You can't call him a star. You can't call him a superstar. Not from what we've seen these 2 games in this series, and then last series, and then that series against the Mavericks last year. He just doesn't do it. He's all talk, and the media's hyping him up. Because like what Kwame Brown says, stars are made, not born. Because the media hypes you up to make you a star, even if you haven't done nothing. They're comparing this man to Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant and all these greats. He hasn't won anything. He made it to a Western Conference Finals. Trae Young made it to an Eastern Conference Finals. So what? You know, sometimes you get an easier path. Sometimes there's injuries. Sometimes you get lucky, you know. You get hot at a certain time. Look at Luka. He made it to a finals. And everybody's saying now, oh, they're off Luka's bandwagon. And to me, you know, Luka played better than him in the playoffs this year. He might not play no defense, but he played better offensively. And we all know to be a superstar, you got to score. Because if they put a defensive team around Luka like we seen they did with the Mavericks, he goes to the finals. Anthony Edwards got all this talent on his team. He had Cat before. Now he's got Julius Randle. He's got all these great role players. McDaniels is one of the best defenders in the whole league. He's got Gobert, who's won all these Defensive Player of the Year. He literally won them the Lakers series by that last game, not Anthony Edwards. He's letting Rudy Gobert win him the game. Like, come on, you cannot call this guy a superstar when he needs Rudy Gobert to close it out. And tonight, I was watching Shaq on the broadcast, and Shaq said, if you're a true superstar, tonight you go for 40, you go for 45. That's what Shaq would have done. That's what Kobe would have done. That's what Bron would have done. You know, that's what Luka does. And what did he do? Oh, he was not making any layups. He's still not hitting his three. He's still pouting after every play. He had 20-something, but that's because they started giving him free throws because he was crying so much. Wow, he finally hit a 3. Wow, amazing. He hit, 2 threes tonight? Amazing. They were wide open because we know the Warriors, you know, they're playing guys straight from the G League, basically. Guys that are barely even in the NBA, and you can't do nothing against that. And that's what upsets me about this era. These guys act like they're just as good or better than the past era. Michael Jordan would have went for 60 against this team tonight. Kobe would have went for 50 against this team. Younger Bron, 10 years ago, would have went for 40 against, come on, you know. Kevin Durant in his prime at 23. Harden, it's ridiculous. It's really ridiculous, you know. This guy talks all that, and you can barely score against a team, basically half the team's G Leaguers. Half those guys won't even be there next year, and you can barely score, and you can't make a layup now in 2 straight series against teams that are not even playing real big men. They're not even playing shot blockers. Imagine if he went up against the Rockets, where they had 2 bigs. They're running a 2 big lineup with Steven Adams and Sagoon, or however you say his last name. Imagine what would have happened. He probably would have not scored. Because all he does is he runs in there all out of control, and then he doesn't finish. He hasn't been finishing. So I'm tired of this narrative that this is the next Michael Jordan, this is the next Kobe, this is the next great superstar. No, he's not. No, he's not. He showed us multiple years, maybe when he gets a little older. But to me, he's a little immature because he talks so much, but he hasn't really done nothing. Why now in this era of NBA players do they talk before they accomplish things? Show me something first. Show me a scoring title. Do you have a scoring title, Anthony? Do you have an MVP? Oh, you don't? Do you have a championship? Do you have a Western Conference Finals MVP? Do you have a championship? Did you win the West? No. Oh, okay. Did you win in college? Oh, you didn't. You didn't win at Georgia either. So why are you talking so much? So why are you acting all like that? Then tonight you're going to be all braggy on the press conference when really you weren't the reason they won. You were not. You were not. Again, you were not. Julius Randle was the reason you won. And the other guys that were competing and playing good and playing defense and, they were scoring while you're missing layups and missing shots again and just keep chucking. I really don't understand. I really don't understand why the media is hyping this guy up. I know they need a face of the league, but clearly it's not going to be this guy because to me, he's not a star. All right, guys, let me know what you think. Are y'all thinking what I'm thinking of the last few playoff series we've seen of Anthony Edwards? Do you think he's kind of, a scrub a little? I wouldn't say a scrub, but he's just not. He's a scrub compared to Shaq, Kobe, Michael Jordan, all these big LeBron, all these big time players in history that they're comparing him to. He's not on that level yet. Nowhere near. So that needs to stop. But all right, guys, let me know what you think. Please like, comment, and subscribe. It's Bias Sports. I'm out.